Well, this is my second effort at this video response thing. I don't know if something I'm going to be any good at or not. Sorry about the poor quality using a cheap webcam. You know, you brought up some, you know, you use terminology, you know, it's all this very, educated terminology, psychobabble, whatever you want to call it. You know, why make it this complex? I don't understand. But anyway, all right. So you know, this whole subject. You know, let's. If the philosophy was, presented by Mary Poppins, let's give her a different name. Okay, so let's call her Mary Poppins. And so she has this philosophy, and that somehow defends elitism, and you claim is highly focused on justice. So this notion is idiotic. I don't even know how a woman can even comprehend a world where we go back and we say let's rewrite the rules, and because if we're going to go back, if we're going to say there's no rules, if you want to go, you said you were an anarchist. Well, if we're going to play by that rule, men are stronger than women. And so let's just subjugate them again. Let's just put them back in their place. Put them back in the damn closet. And let's enslave anybody we have more power than. Might makes right. I mean, it's just preposterous. So obviously, even your hero Mary Poppins would come up with some kind of rules and say, oh no, we have to modify everything, and we'll use the word justice to make all this make sense, because we'll call it justice, and so we'll have these rules to the game for the victims we care about. But the rest of the victims, hell with them, because they're just dumb, ignorant, poor people. Or they overproduced, or they overreap the mess they're in. It's because they're just too horny and too lazy to use birth control, or whatever you want to blame, because there's too many unskilled labor, or there's too much of a certain kind of labor, or they weren't ready for the technical revolution, or whatever the excuse is to say it's okay for people to basically own each other. That it's okay for human beings to own another person. Because that's what you get with anarchy. Power creates power. It feeds itself. It's self-maintaining. So in your universe, in your just universe, what's inheritance? What is that, earned? Is that justice? Is inheritance justice? It's idiotic. Preposterous. No, we're not going to let you inherit your status in this world. If we're going to play this dog-eat-dog world, where at least all the dogs should start from the same place. We shouldn't give some dogs, you can put them, let's put some dogs 3 feet from the finish line. Let's put some dogs up in the grandstand with the trophy already. And then we have to get in the red any of this. Use all these fancy words and all this psychological speak. And all this terminology, all these stupid words. I mean, another human, invention. And it seems that it's all created for what? I mean, to me, this is a perfect example of what's wrong with philosophy. What's wrong with atheists is they've decided it's an excuse to be selfish pricks, and there's nothing objective in that kind of thinking. Objectivity leads you to one conclusion if you're an atheist. If you're an atheist and objective, you draw one conclusion. Oh yeah, that we came from nature. We came from these crude forces where Joshin in nature. Nature doesn't care how much suffering it causes. It doesn't care how miserable something's death is. It has no ethics, no sensibilities, no intellectual appreciation. There's value in the victory. Okay, it doesn't matter how big a maggot you are, how big a piece of scum you are. Success, that all of a sudden that's the victory. You deserve the crown. You deserve the praise. Well, that's bullshit. Justice imposes a whole different standard. You can't. It's crazy. You cannot put these words together. You cannot mix them. Okay, because one word is completely the opposite of the other. Justice has nothing to do with anarchy. Justice has nothing to do with elitism. It just doesn't. because justice demands something different. Justice demands this notion of fairness, this idea, okay, well, yeah, let's have this fair contest. And so if you're going to allow people to inherit wealth, then maybe you ought to allow them or force them to inherit debt. Wouldn't that be a novel notion? So all these free enterprise, all these brilliant entrepreneurs, who are playing with basically free money they inherited, okay, and they're these brilliant risk takers. What risk are they taking? They file bankruptcy, get off for free. Donald Trump, yeah, well, if I fail in one business, so what? I go bankrupt in one business, big deal, because I can't touch my other businesses. So I'm still a trillionaire, a billionaire, whatever, So failure doesn't have any consequences. Yeah, the shareholders lose all their money, but he doesn't. I mean, it's bullshit. It's just freaking bomb sort of system where, if everybody's out for themselves, you're going to have a wonderful society, and everybody's going to live a wonderful life. Well, that's just crap. What do you think of Social Security? You think Social Security is some sort of blight on society? I mean, it's not just, it wasn't invented for no cause. It was invented for a perfectly good reason, because this dog-eat people die in the streets, having old people eating dog food. I mean, bullshit goes on. I mean, this is stupid. It's a stupid idea. This whole idea that selfishness is some sort of naturally perfect mechanism. And you use the word mind. You have this respect for intellect and thinking, and yet your whole philosophy rejects that and destroys the most precious thing about it. You're using your brain. You're saying the greatest ambition of the human mind is to desires. I mean, everything we want, everything we need, is a contrivance of nature. We're not conceiving our goals using our intellect to conceive our goals. Our goals are being, brought out from inside of us through all this ego and this need and for things. We need things to satisfy ourselves. We must eat, and we must have sex, and we must have this, and we must do this, and we must do that. All this crap that we need. So and you're saying that the greatest ambition of the human mind is to sit there and be a great schemer and figure out the way to get all the stuff you want. Get your harem, get all the your slaves, get your mega buildings. That's going to create a great, wonderful society. And it's bullshit, because by nature we're all greedy and selfish. It's not going to work. I mean, if you're going to use your intellect, you use it to define goals, and the goals got to be that we got to make every life as productive as possible. That's the ambition. I mean, certainly I don't sit there and applaud the welfare state, but yeah, the welfare state wasn't an accident. It wasn't like everybody sat around and said, "Oh, we have to give money to people to do nothing." The fact of the matter is, the welfare state grew out of the fact that what are we going to do? These people have children, and they're using the children to blackmail society. And so what do you do with the children? Are you going to punish the child because the parent's an asshole? Come on. So let's not talk about the welfare state. Let's talk about something more real. Let's talk about Social Security or some other program that exists, that's a safety net that protects people against the fact that life is unfair, that life puts burdens on people that it doesn't put on other people. And that we should do something out of decency to fix that. I wouldn't get into a boxing ring with somebody with one arm and who had brain surgery. That wouldn't be a fair fight. Where I feel like a man because I beat up a guy who's compromised. What a pile of shit. And so we'll just leave those people behind. We'll let them sell pencils on the street corner because we're superior by nature, because we didn't have bad luck. I mean, what a pile of crap. I mean, that's really the world you want to live in. A world that's where the human mind aspires to. So do you think in your world we ever would have landed on the moon? Would we? Would it ever happen? Would the Hoover Dam ever gotten built in your stupid ass world? Of course not. And we'd all have this, everybody out for themselves, a bunch of little piecemeal, crappy solutions to everything. We had 7,000 phone lines going into our house. We'd all have our own friggin' private roads to our own private 7-Elevens. I mean, it's just bullshit. And we're even this little part of it that we still have, the Republican Party and libertarians. I hate to say, the amazing atheist. I mean, you call yourself a libertarian. Yeah, well, what the hell is